All right. All right. Greetings, everyone. Black Serpent Clan, Red Serpent Clan presents Necro Cannon discussing Qigong and how to use it on your left hand path. The usage, the philosophy, the understanding, and how it's appropriate and best suited and utilized on the left hand path is what he'll elaborate, discuss, and go further in this evening. At the end of his introduction, we take questions. Each person do at least one question or one comment and keep it moving because this room is going to fill up quickly. I see new faces on here, so I know it's going to fill up rather quickly. All right. Let me just start off by, actually, Necro Cannon, do your introduction and let's go forward from there.
Well, everyone, for those that don't know, just attending the class, I'm Necro Cannon. You can find me on my YouTube channel, The Necro Cannon, so that way you can catch my videos, and on Instagram as well as Necro Cannon. Basically, tonight is going to be about how you can utilize Qigong on your work on the left-hand path. From it not only revitalizing your own energy in the morning time to throughout the day, as well how to allow you to have a mind, body, and spirit connection as well too, which is very critical on this path, because that is one of the things that you're doing is actually getting yourself situated, mind, body, and spirit, so you can actually master yourself as a whole. So by using Qigong, it'll allow you to not only assist in manipulating outside energetic forces, but as well your own energetic forces. So you start taking more control over like your vital organs, breathing, and life. And so we'll be getting really in depth in that tonight. So hopefully there'll be plenty of questions that I can go ahead and answer to assist with. I can give a couple of references as well, so that way people can know how to do like the body movements and the like. And it might be a really interactive class this evening. To get in depth, I might have to actually stand up so that way I can show a couple of postures and the like that you will want to hold as you're doing your meditation to increase circulation of the energy and the what we call the upper, middle, and lower dantians, or the three energy centers within the body, which also correspond to the chakra points as well. But they're just the main energy centers to where you really feel energy in the body, projection wise, and where you feel it when it's coming in. So that's what I'll really be touching bases on tonight. Not just the Chinese medicine aspect of it, because that's one of the things that they use. And notice too that the more the Chinese, you're always seeing them, well, Asians in general, they're always doing a form of slow martial arts movements and the like. Notice that they actually have slower aging to them as well too, because they're constantly doing that. And then notice at the age of 70 years old, you see old men pooping around doing everything else because they're constantly applying that to themselves. So by utilizing this on the left-hand path, it's greatly going to increase not only your work, but it'll also add longevity to you as well too.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. So let me just go over this part here. And then I have a couple questions from Necro Cannon to get this sparked. Qigong is different than Tai Chi. They seem to be similar, but there is differences. So let me just go over this. Both Qigong and Tai Chi work with the breath, posture, and intention through slow, coordinated movement. Both are internally focused and good for health, but here are some of the subtle differences. Qigong is the mother of Tai Chi, is an internal Chinese health and longevity exercise. Is practiced as disease prevention by cultivating and balancing qi. Exercises can be learned in a short space of time. Qi means life force, energy, vitality, and Gong means work, study, discipline. So Qigong is energy work or energy discipline. Discipline yourself on how to work with the energy, which I'm sure Necro Cannon is going to connect how this is and can be utilized in vampiric sorcery or magic. Okay. Forms, exercises come from many sources that are numerous exercises that exist, can be done seated or standing, moving or still. Exercises can be done singly or repeated several times. Exercises can be put into a sequence, and the sequence can change according to the needs of the person. It's versatile and safe exercise modality suitable for all types of people. Now, Tai Chi, which I'm sure more people are familiar with, um, is an internal Chinese martial art form, is an advanced type of Qigong, or I wouldn't say advanced, it's just different type of Qigong. It's practice in defense for, it's practice for defense and health. It's traditionally, it means supreme ultimate fist, referring to the body's internal spiraling force and clarity of mind that comes with years of practice. It's part of Chinese culture. Forms exercises are descended from the five traditional families: Chen, Yang, Wu, and Sun. It's primarily practiced standing, although it can be seated. Utilize the whole body as arms, legs, and upper lower body move in a coordinated, flowing manner. Forms exercises are preset, memorized sequence of movements. Is enjoyable and safe exercise modality, suitable for most people, and is very popular worldwide. Now, Necrocanon.
Yes.
My question to you is, Qigong, is it closely aligned or does it utilize the philosophy of the Tao?
Yes.
And what is the Tao? That's the two-part question.
The Tao is a philosophy and system that is used with energy, so that way you can actually function more along the lines of your work. I need to go and get more in depth in regards to research potential for the Tao from my standpoint on it. But in regards to it, it's like you're using your mind in order to flow with your energy and essence to control it more, to be able to, like I said, vitalize yourself, to have a fundamental understanding of not only breath and mind and control of force, but being all three of one, because there is no separate. There's nothing separate between those aspects. Once you do start to separate it, that's when you complicate things, and then that's when you're not able to get your work done. But from my aspect and understanding that it's what the Tao is. Now, if you would, you can give some insight in regards to the portion of your research in regards to the Tao to add to that. And in my areas of knowledge, that is the information for what I have at present.
All right. Now, the Qigong, how, basically give us your understanding of Qigong and how to utilize it on our everyday path.
Well, well, for me, not only like I said, do I use it so that way I can keep my body like not only limber, I'm keeping energy circulating through my body. I'm able to tap into another entity's vital force in regards to it, since I can control my energy, and because our auric field is 9 feet out in diameter. That's why usually when somebody's 9 feet away from you, approximately, if they're concentrating their energy on you, look at them directly, like right at that person. They might look away, but notice how you have direct eye contact because of that energy that's being sent. So even from a distance, I can manipulate their energy that's within either individual chakra points or just in the upper, middle, and lower dantian as a whole. That actually helps me along my vampirism if I'm needing to either feed or, to add maybe an energy probe inside of an entity. So anytime that they're thinking a certain thought, they'll be sending energy to me because I'm connected to their biofield. That's also application of science that goes along with that. But just to keep my energy going so that way I'm constantly a battery. That's why at times like I get extremely hyper. The people that know me directly notice to where, I can just be talking at one moment, next minute I'll have a large burst of energy. I'll start utilizing Qigong so that way I can cultivate it, and so that way I can ground myself at the same time. So that way I'm not just, expulsing and using it out. Then by also focusing it, that's where a lot of the Qigong masters as well notice to where they're able to project out their energy in a rough force. That is one of the other things that I'm learning to do myself personally, so that way I can actually project a heavy enough of vital force and energy by blocking another person's energy channel. Like you look past them, you don't actually look directly at them. But if you see them as a screen and you push your energy past them, your energy will naturally penetrate through their energy barrier or bioelectric field. And that's when you see they get force and falling back, and or even in a reference with Star Wars, because a lot of what the martial arts of what they're using is a style of Qigong, just advanced version. They're pushing and using their force against an individual. They even say so in their teachings. You look past that individual, you see them for the energy field of what they are, and not as that person, and yet you're able to control the force that flows through them. So that's what it means to me, is so that way not only can I gain control over my energy, but if I need to, then I can gain control over another entity's energy. I can feed, or I can even do healing if it's need to as well, because there's a multi-function with it. It's not just, you feeding on the individual, but to give them health, to clear out blockages, or, if you know how to transmute vital energy, then you can take the blockages that's in their body, transmute it to a positive energy within them, so that way that energy is able to flow. So with the different uses it's in it, like not only do I feed, but also give healing, and it also allows me to have a sense of mind, a sense of body, spirit, calmness. It allows me to be centered, always in the now. That way I'm focused on the task of what's at hand. Then that also allows me to go into deep meditation as well while I'm doing my body movements, working on my breathing techniques and the like. So it has a bunch of different benefits for it, actually.
Excellent, excellent. All right. Show us what else did you want to do? You wanted to tell us the basics of Qigong, like the basic movements, basic steps, and how to incorporate that.
Well, like in simple basic movements, like you said, you can do it like sitting down in the chair. It's just with you coordinating your mind and body, or if you're out, like I said, it'll be an interactive class. But like with your mind and body, you mainly want to take a stance, kind of like how they do in Kung Fu, to where you're sitting down. Like you're standing up, but you're sitting down in the same instance. Like rotating your hips so that way you're getting the ligaments. You got to keep your back straight while you're still sitting down, and move like this. Same as this is how women rotate their hips in order to move the hula hoops. They're actually using a form of qigong. And notice that those same women that are actually able to do that, they have a lot of energy of what they're able to conduct, because that's one form of style. And or just with just general body movements, you want to take your time, slow breath movements. That way you're focused, breathing, and then you'll start feeling the energy go through your body. Your body will start to warm up to let you know that you have energy going through your meridians. By you focusing your energy on your breath on your lower dantian or your solar plexus area, that allows for you to really focus all your energy throughout your body, because that is your solar plexus is the one connecting point for all nerves in the body. So by you focusing your energy there, focus on your breath and your breathing, it allows for your energy to amplify. And then that's usually like when animals start moving up, like my dog did, when your energy starts moving up, starts flowing off. So what I can really do is just like state that there's a bunch of different videos on YouTube that you guys are able to look at, and you can use. Like, you don't have to sit there. You don't necessarily have to have a teacher. You can actually sit there, watch their body movements. You can copy it. And the more that you get up, take 20 minutes to do it in a day, 10 minutes, then naturally it'll actually flow to you, because some of the movements I'm not going to be able to get on camera. So I'm going to have to wait really to do my segments of body movements and the like when my girlfriend gets here, because she's going to be recording me and helping me to do some things. So I'll actually be able to post me doing some movements. Hopefully she'll be able to do some movements as well, so that way we can show it that way. But I won't be able to do it here on the camera. But you just focus on your breathing. You focus on your body movements. Slow, gentle touches. You don't have to be moving all fast, but the slower that you are with it, not too slow, and the more that you're actually just focused on your breath, you're able to channel the energy. And then you focus on the areas of your body that you're moving to. Like if you're moving your leg one step forward, focus on the energy flowing through your leg to move notice when you're getting ready to move as it is, and you're sending that signal, just like, you know, at one time when you taught something on cancelization, for when you cancel the signal going down to your nerve endings to where you'll start to feel that charge build up, because the moment that you're thinking of moving, you're sending energy to your leg. So that is your first bit of awareness in regards to moving your energy in your body. Because when you're sending that signal down, and now that we put that within your subconscious, now anytime that you start moving different portions of your body, you'll start to be aware of that electric signal that'll go through, or the warm sensation that'll go through, like your arm or your head, or even when you're starting to look through your eyes, now you start to feel that warm sensation going through it because you are aware of the energy moving. Versus, you know, beforehand you kind of were autonomous in regards to when we just get up, move around, and do everything else. But now that you're more aware of the energy that's flowing through your body, even when you're breathing, notice where you start feeling that warm sensation build up in your middle dam tien, or your high heart center, is what they're saying in the yoga practices. You'll start noticing to where that area is constantly warm. It's never going to be cold because you're always generating that energy. Plus, that's the upper level of the combustion spot from the breathing of your lungs. So that way, it's helping to pump energy as well too. And that's also where of course, the energy flows from the heart. So just when you're more aware of that, and when you get a chance to look at some videos and do the techniques, you'll be able to be more focused when you're projecting your energy out. Just like for us that are in the vampire class, now that you actually have this, and when you're needing to, project out certain feeding techniques, and like, I won't go into detail here in regards to it, but when you're projecting out certain feeding techniques in the likeness, now you'll feel it more amplified for yourself, and it won't be more difficult, or it won't seem difficult if you were having troubles with doing certain things, because now you can actually feel your own vital force reaching out and connecting to that other entity, and then that's when you do the work. So hopefully once you have the vampire class, we can actually talk more in discussion of that, so I can give more details for it. But just as a vampire, as yourself, those that are like, this is key for you to understand your own vital energy and start feeling it moving through your body. And then you consciously will start to move it through your body. You'll focus on your hands, and you focus on your energy that's being projected, like such as in the middle of your hands, or like in a lot of different animes, or even within a lot of the older martial arts videos. Notice there where they would always do like palm strikes, and they would say, I'm, pushing my energy through there. And the hits that they would do, they're actually pushing their energy through them in order to make them fly. Like even a reference with Dragon Ball Z, notice where a lot of the energy projectiles of what they're doing is from either the upper dantian, they'll do like mouth blast or psionic blast, middle dantian, which is to where they're shooting energy through their hands, cultivating larger shots because of the connection with the bioelectric fields that are here in your fingertips. Because if you know the occult anatomy of the body, certain size is electric, neutral, electromagnetic. That's where you're able to draw things to pick up from and discard as well within your hands. Or like with the technique that I was teaching on one of my previous videos, like you clap your hands and you rub them together like this for a moment, and then you start to feel the tingling sensation in your hands. When you move them apart, you'll notice to where it starts to be lessened. And the closer that you bring them together again, you'll notice to where the tingling sensation is starting to get built up. That's your actual energy jumping between the two. So when you focus, and literally focus your intent and effort into a ball of energy in between them, and you start to tell it that you feel it dense, your energy will become dense because you're shaping it within your hands. And you can take that same energy ball, of what you're creating, either for something offense, defense, feeding, or whatever that you consciously shape your energy to, you can project it out to whatever, even into the atmosphere, and wind up creating a psychokinetic device where it accumulates solar energy, and then you start feeding off of that when you walk into an area. Like, you can project out energy.
Excellent. Excellent, brother. All right, so let me ask you this other question. Connect the dots to vampirism and energy feeding.
Well, in regards to that, like I was saying earlier, you're connecting your energy source to theirs, basically, so that way you can feed off of them. And the different areas where you focus on of the body, such as like if for if you're doing direct feeding for off of an individual, of course, you want to go directly to the solar plexus, because like I was saying, that's the powerhouse of energy for you. So when you focus on that area and you connect however you want to feed, whether it's, you see it in a burning format, or if you have a tube or likeness going from you to them, you'll be able to feed off of that energy, because that's the one thing of what you're going for, is the vital force of that, because that's what energy vampires go for. Psionic vampires, of course, they go directly for the psionic energy. That's why people are usually mentally fatigued. But within us, what we do, we go directly for that vital force. So, or like even in previous teachings, in a large group setting, you would focus on the heart chakra, because that's where everybody is at as a group setting. For more advanced techniques, you can connect to both depending on your level of imagination, so to speak, because you have to use your imagination as well to project that out. But when you're like sensing energy from an individual, or being around them, you can detect, the person's vibrational frequency. If they're in a good mood, if they're charismatic or the like, you're like sensing that energy. In which, when you sense it, you project your consciousness onto them, and then you're able to get that energy. And notice, like, you're all bouncing around, you got the energy now, and you're like, yeah, what's going on? And then that person's drained. If beforehand you might not have noticed that, but when you were actually focused on that person, you were focused on how happy they were, how much energy that they were, you started to drain them when you said that, well, I want that energy too. And then consciously you connected your energy to them. They might have looked at you directly as well too, which for an individual basis gave you your confirmation that you had a direct connect link to that person. So that way you can start drawing energy for them. Because anytime if you're projecting your energy at an individual and they happen to look at you directly, you already got them on a link. So now you're able to do the rest of your work, which is, go ahead and either directly take from the solar plexus, high heart center, or even take from the third eye if you're needing to get that mental energy, or if you're wanting, to gain insight to some information alike. But within your energy work, within Qigong, it's vital for you to build up your own energy reservoir. So if you're needing not only to feed, but like to defend yourself from somebody else that might take offense to you feeding on them, you can actually defend yourself that way by projecting up a shield and likeness for you. So.
Excellent, brother. Excellent. Is your girl there yet? Because I want to see these movements.
Actually, she'll be here. She'll be here on the 31st, and so we actually got her situated for a plane ticket. So I can't wait to have her down here. She's actually doing some things for us right now, so she's in listening in, thankfully. So I am glad that she is here. She's very supportive of our work too. So, and she's going to be a very good addition herself to the Red Serpent clan. So she's really looking forward to it. But she's just getting herself situated. So, but she'll be here pretty soon, and we'll both be doing the movements and the like. And then I'll also be incorporating Tai Chi as well too, because that's very, very good for defensive positions. So once you learn, the basis of Qigong, and then you start learning how to strike with when you're using your energy and the like, for combativeness or defensive, it's like good all around. Then you'll start doing like how on my old Instagram videos, you see me like bending all the way over backwards, kind of like I'm bending into a circle, or I'm doing the flamingo, different stretches. It's because of that. So it's really good. Like I really can't stress it enough. Like, you see the amount of energy that I'm being built up, and that's how I was telling you, I get hyper at times. But it's so beneficial. Like even almost at the age of 40 and doing half the stuff what I do, to where most people aren't able to do, just from continuously doing that. And you can start it up at any age, and the more that you do it, like it may take a little bit longer for you if you're at a much older age, but I mean it's so easy for you to get into and for you to do, to where after a while you'll notice to where your body is not so stiff. You're able to move much quicker. You're able to breathe much better as well too, because of the work of what you're putting in, because you're building yourself up. You don't necessarily have to go to the gym and pump iron and start running on treadmills. Like you see how people are like really overexert themselves sometimes, like not knocking those individuals that are looking for the physical application in order to build that up. But when you're doing your qigong and your tai chi, you're connecting all three in essence, and then like then not only, like I said, when you start flipping around, depending on how limber you are, you know, your essence with weight, lightness of that, but it's you once you guys start getting into it and we can start getting the left R classes going for it, so that way it can be specific movements towards learning how to feed and combat measures, then that's when it's really going to be good, because that's what I'll focus on, that aspect for the Black Serpent clan. So that way, once you're like actually striking, if you have to strike a person and when you touch them, you'll drain a portion of their energy from them. Or even if they strike you and you're blocking with it, you'll tell your vital source, or you'll tell, you know, what you're wanting your energy to do. So when they touch you, they're actually directing their energy to you, or even when they're in your energy field, you can take that energy because they're in your energy field. So you'll be able to literally drain them because you already know where to focus on within their body. You already have that aspect and knowledge of energy, the direction of force, how it's electromagnetic, tap into their energy field. You'll be able to quickly drain them before they can even get to you to knock them down. That's what the other Chinese masters do. They use their direction of force and energy against them. When they're using their strikes, notice to where they just bat it to the side. It's nothing aggressive because they're connected to it and they're able to redirect the flow of the energy. And then the more aggravated or the more irritated a person is, you know, the more angry that a person is, the more direction of force that they have. And so they'll be applying more and more of their energy toward it. Is what they're doing. Master just simply just push it off to the side, because if you're applying this much force to me, I'm either going to take a portion of it and then redirect it elsewhere. I'm just going to redirect it all together. So that way, that's where you see the evasive kids, and you know, or them just really overpowering somebody just by literally standing there. And mind you, these are old men too, and you can go to China to this day and see these same old men, 70 and 80 years old, young bucks running up to them, and they're just like doing stuff like this with their finger because they're using their energy.
Yep, that's true. All right, bro. So, anything else you want to elaborate on? Some lot of questions, or you want to just start taking questions?
We can just go ahead and start taking questions, so that way we can get things rolling in that manner. Because I don't want to go along and be like a blabbermouth. I just want to answer things specifically, so that way I can give direct information, and then from there I can go ahead and start wind up working on my videos to show like what body movements that will be best utilized for us. Because it's better in that aspect for me to show and explain versus me just talking about it and not having the actual physical application that I'm wanting people to see, so that way that seed can be put in with the subconscious, so when they're doing it, it'll wind up just becoming a secondary habit for them to amplify their own minds.
All right, cool. All right, check this out real quick before I start taking questions. I just want to address this because you know people are like these keyboard warriors. So there was a subtle shot at the Black and Red Serpent clan today by someone on Instagram, where they said, "Why are you so interested in becoming a snake when you should be the hawk or the falcon?" Anyways, listen, this just shows you the ignorance of people. They really think we're trying to become a snake. Like, really, people? God damn. All right. The truth. What the black and red represent is the Kundalini, the energy, the Ida and Pingala. The black serpent represents the masculine energy. The red serpent represents the feminine energy. And in the Temple of the Abyss, the black and red serpent clan is those clans that are mastering the masculine and the feminine to the utmost with various different walks or techniques or systems that we can utilize to raise ourselves up higher. So that individual I know is going to be watching this video, so I wanted to address that. Instead of just emailing me or texting me, they want to post a meme. So there it is, okay? Secondly,
Yeah.
Hermes, we're going to start taking questions. So the question you typed in here, just be sure to ask it again, all right?
Hold on, before we do real quick, I just want to say, first off, why didn't they just ask for clarification if they were truly on the left-hand path versus just coming up with, with that kind of thing? That would have been like, well, can I have some clarification on exactly what the red and black serpent clan actually means? Second of all, they went directly to Fluffy Town if they're thinking that we're actually trying to become a snake. Like, I mean, even though, yeah, shape shifting is something that's able to be done, but that's not the aspect of what we're doing. Third of all, if they would have been paying attention to anything of what we've been putting on there, so that way individuals can actually master different aspects of their lives, and that's what we're wanting. That's what we're bringing to everybody, so that way they can actually master themselves, mind, body, and spirit, so that way they're able to utilize different techniques within their day-to-day lives, so that way they're not allowing the world to control them, so that way they're controlling themselves. So, and then four, that just shows the level of ignorance of what they have, because they just couldn't ask a simple question. Like, multiple people have asked me questions plenty of times. I would give them the information, like, okay, thank you for the clarification. Something as simple as that. You're going to be on the left-hand path. Mind you, remember, you're supposed to ask questions. You're not supposed to be a right-hander and start saying, oh, well, it's this and this, and not actually know exactly what you're talking about. Like, stop doing that and grow up. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not quite sure their left-hand path. I think they're still fluffy path. But anyways, all right, let's start taking questions here. All right. Normally, let's see, where am I going to start? Let's start it off with, I'll save Demetrius towards the end. Let's start off with Gold Blood. Gold Blood, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, Gold Blood, do you have a question for Necro Cannon?
No specific question. Just had something concerning of defense and things of that nature, but he did touch on how Tai Chi can be used for things like that. So I don't really have anything to build off of that. I just wanted to add on when you were saying that taking a lower stance, because I actually have family members that practice Qigong and Tai Chi and stuff like that. And the reason why that low stance is used so much, because think of it like as a pneumatic compressor in a way. Like when you're in a low stance like that, you're building resistance within yourself and like kind of compressing that energy. So when you're standing in a normal stance, like all that is like able to be released at a much faster pace, like using resistance bands when you're in the gym or something like that. So yeah, just want to add that in.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, brother.
Thank you.
Let's go to Lady Mystic.
Hey, Lady Mystic.
Hold on, I'm still trying to unmute her. Okay, there you go. Lady Mystic, how are you?
Greetings. I'm very good. Thank you. This is excellent. I am just learning about Tai Chi and different martial arts or breathing meditation. So I'm just going to listen and then do more research. Thank you.
Most welcome. Thanks for being here.
All right, cool. Thank you. Ooh, this thing just jumped. All right, Dawson Carlisle. Dawson Carlisle, you're next. Any question for okay. All right, go ahead, Dawson.
Let's see here. My bad. I guess my question would be like when because I've been doing this type of work as far as with energy work, and I noticed that the density, and I had talked to Necro Cannon, the density of energy or chi will become a lot stronger within the hands or the palm chakras. And I guess my question would be, and also with the heat that's coming from the hands, how do you increase that energy or make it where it's even stronger to move it?
Focus of application for one, as well too, like I was saying, you would focus on your solar plexus, you would generate more energy from the area. Now, as well, depending on how the strength of your own vital force and how healthy that you are too, because your health does play a very important factor in it. So if you're extremely healthy and you're able to consciously generate more energy, or if you're naturally hyper, you can utilize that in order to focus more energy within your hands. But the more that you practice doing it and the more that you're pushing your intent and you're actually pushing your energy into it, the more effective you'll get. Qigong masters out there able to, they continuously focus that energy through the whole hands where they're able to start fires and the like. You don't want to get to that. Well, you might want to get to that point depending on, if you're wanting to start fires and the like, but just really focus. Anything I can say, the more energy that you're able to build up and constantly flow through your body, and the more control that you have over that, the more that you're able to push it, so that way you're able to get your effect. But it's just focused application. It's the only thing of what I can indicate for you, and just constantly doing your techniques, your movements, breathing on a daily basis, and then just telling yourself to where you are a walking battery of energy and that you can conduct more energy within inside of yourself. And as you're doing your work, you will naturally start to generate more energy inside of your body, and the more, you know, eating healthy laws and the likeness too. Because remember, what you program yourself to do is what you will actually do for yourself. So if you're programming yourself to generate more energy or bioenergy, however you want to look at it, you program yourself to do that on a day-to-day basis. That's what you're actually going to do.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. All right. Next is, let's go to Venus Love. Venus Love, are you there? Hold on. Venus, are you there?
Hello. Hey, how are y'all?
Hello, welcome.
First of all, I want to say I appreciate what you're doing. I recently just got involved myself. I think it was the book Cyclomancy I was reading, and they were giving me some techniques, something similar to that. So yeah, I definitely agree. Being conscious of your energy within your body definitely will help you with the different things you're trying to do on your journey.
Yes.
But I'm cooking in the background, so I'm listening. But I was listening at the same time.
Sorry. But speaking off the book of Cyclomancy, yeah, that book right there is very good. It's by Rudolph Young. Correct? Yeah, that's by Rudolph Young. I would tell everybody to go ahead and pick that book up too, because it also helps you not only start to help to assist master your psionics, but as well your magic. And then it does also talk about you being consciously aware of your energy, you actually sending energy to different regions of your body in order to cause certain changes to different areas, like, you know, 3 taps to the forehead or 3 taps at the back of the skull. So that way you're stimulating different portions of the body. You'll start to feel the energy move to that area and the body starts to tingle. And then that's when you're able to cause, you know, said change to your objective reality from your subjective. So that's one. I'm glad that you picked up on that book. It'll really help you out as well too, especially when you start doing your qigong and your tai chi. You start utilizing that along with cyclomancy, you have increased results. It's a good benefit for you.
And one other thing I wanted to add, like, since I've been listening to you guys and studying and on my own path, one thing I've been using is my imagination, and also like regards to like Dragon Ball Z and those type of cartoons. So sometimes I find myself like using my finger and directing like energy certain places, and when I'm calm and I'm focused, it actually works. It really does. So also the techniques you're using too, but your imagination has to be on point as well.
Yes, I also want to add, I want to say this real quick, and this will also kind of go in depth to the question that was asked me earlier about how you can have more focus on it. Just like you see them on like Goku or any individual on Dragon Ball Z, notice that when Master Roshi was teaching them to tap into their energy source, where they told them to literally focus on their own vital energy and then to amplify it. They notice to where they're able to tap into the energy, the more focus that they have, because they're tapping and they're tapping to a sip current, actually is what they're doing. Because notice the more pissed off they get, the more focused that they are in that aspect, the more powerful that they are. Or even in the reference with Vegeta, notice Vegeta will get mad real quick, then the next thing you know, or like in the movie when his wife got hit, he was like, that's my Bulma. He like had a large burst of energy. He was ultimately powered up. He was pissed off in a rage and he was focused. And like I was saying earlier, notice when you're in that rage, you have energy pumping because you have a directional force of energy. Notice that, you know, your stomach starts to hurt because all that energy is pumping from your solar plexus. When your chest starts getting tight, it's because the breath is tight and you're focused. You know, you're trying to breathe. Your heart is pumping that energy from your heart center is being sent out, so that way you can detect the energy of what's around you. That's the reason why anytime you have an experience, whether it's frightness, happiness, or a surprise, you always get that feeling right there in the middle of your heart center, because that's your signal to send out to you for the waves that are around you. But when they're pissed off and they're focused and they're charging that energy, notice that they're like, I will get stronger, I'm going to get more powerful, and they're just pushing. They're pushing. The more you push, the more you focus like that. Utilize that, because that's what I do for myself. Like when I'm getting angry or when I need energy, I literally see myself as that. I see I see my chi flowing up from me, and mine is just in the form of a black flame. So because I use the black flame in essence for me for my chi. So whenever I'm charging up, my energy is of that, and it's like it gets bigger. I'm able to make it expand outwards. Then I'll even add a little bit of Naruto into it and kind of expand the black flame outwards to where everything around me is burning down in flames within my energy, because it's just an extension of me, because it's truly an extension of my consciousness, or else I wouldn't be right sitting in the middle of what I put around for me as my consciousness. So that helps me to not only expand my energy outside of myself, but also to increase my energy because I'm focused on that. So I just wanted to give you that, and also to add extra to the last question that was asked as well. But use Dragon Ball Z, like use that. Use it.
And one more thing I wanted to tell the ladies, as just a little tip, you can also use your yoni as well too, because it's a vortex. So you can send some energy out. It doesn't matter what type. You better believe they're gonna get it, especially if you power it up down there.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Because that's directly connected to the root chakra and to the sacral center as a whole. So that's direct energy vortex there. That's why, man. Okay, let me not.
I'm gonna get off of that.
Yeah,
Bill.
But okay, look, because that in itself, there, I'm gonna touch on that. Because that in itself, that's the energy vortex. That's literally the creational womb. If you think about it, it is a black hole. Because notice, it'll take that energy and suck right on in, and then notice to where like it can drain the vital force of a man directly, because the man is applying his energy there.
I know. I know.
She's all amped up, depending on, how she feels about the man and everything else. No, she got a whole bunch of energy. She's going here. She might, set something up, or, she might even want to go ahead and fix something they need to do. Sit up there like all drained out and everything else. But she's like literally drawing in that energy. And then notice like the chants and the mantras that she's doing at the same time, talking in the ear, saying different things, getting them all built up. And he's all excited and everything else going, nuts, and that energy is just being drained out. So yeah, that's that. And from a distance,
and not just sexual experiences. Like even if you want to send a message to somebody, you can literally use that portal to send out those thought frequencies. But of course, you need to be, balanced. Well, not balanced, but in harmony with yourself and know what your focus is. Especially when you're angry, it's just like a gun. You can just start shooting, niggas up. I'm telling you.
But you're right. Yes, you can use that not only just in a sexual sense, but you can focus on that vortex and that energy gate, because that's what it is. It is a gateway, and so you can send messages through that gateway, or you can receive messages through that same gateway as well too. That's why when it comes to individuals that are in a certain business venture of what they do, they're actually some of the most powerful people on the face of this planet, because they have people bend to their will. They have people acting nuts over them. They have people literally by spending thousands of dollars and not even touch the vortex gate just to be around the vortex gate. That is how powerful it is, and it's been completely underestimated. Of course, people are looking at it within a negative sense in order to keep people along a certain thought process, to keep certain people in power and other people not in power. But that is one of the most powerful dimensional gateways on the face of this planet.
And that's why they like women to keep their legs closed. That's why they don't like women to wear panties. But I'm telling you, ladies, during the summertime, take them panties off.
When
you go somewhere, you're going to be felt. Your energy is going to be in the whole place. Most definitely.
Let me just say this. In the immortal words of Demetrius Clark, that's called coochie magic. And
right.
In the immortal words of myself, in Spanish, that's called chocha magic.
Yep.
That's right. That's my favorite subject.
There you go. There you go. Maybe one day Venus will have you come on here and actually title the class that you could teach and call it coochie magic for beginners. Okay?
Okay.
So let's do that. Let's do that for the future. Let's keep that in mind, all right?
Okay, I'm gonna marinate on it.
All right, marinate. All right, thank you. All right, let's go to Smooth T. Smooth T. What's up, brother? Smooth T, you there? He might have stepped away from the phone. Maybe that coochie magic got to Smooth.
Man, it's something.
Come back, smooth
Yo,
team.
yo.
All right,
Like,
you there, bro? All right, you there? You there now? Go ahead, brother.
Coochie magic work. Goddamn.
There you go. There you go.
Nah, but good show, good show. No questions though, no questions, man.
All
I
right.
just gotta get my studies up on this.
All right.
thanks for
Appreciate it.
being here, man.
All right. Let's go to Robin Quarles. Robin, you're next. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. Cool. You have any questions for Necro Cannon?
I'm kind of just observing. It's my first time here.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
welcome aboard.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yep. You're welcome. All right. Let me go to 510-514-2545. Can you hear me? 510.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm just I was invited to take a listen to you also. I'm just here for the knowledge, man.
All right. Appreciate it, bro.
All right, man.
All right, let's go to Hermes Access. You're next, bro.
No, I'm just tuning in for the meantime. I mean, I've always, had an interest, within the Qigong and all. But just to, be able to participate in a group, that's also on it and applying it to this left-hand path, I definitely appreciate being able to listen to that. But I was, one of the questions I was just, asking that if any of, anybody here has heard of Master Zhao, because I remember that when Necro Cannon, he was speaking, when people attain a certain level, if you push it that far within the Qigong, just the fact, like, they were, machines hooked up, that were really verifying, the heat really stemming from this individual, so, I always found that as an interest and, just, I wanted thoughts on, what other people thought about that as well. But, yeah, I'm just tuning in for the meantime and just appreciating the good talk here.
All right.
To touch up on that real quick, there's yes, I do know of him and a couple of other masters, such as I know one that he wasn't supposed to be on camera, but yet he still went ahead and he taught it, and he was teaching about the direction of energy and flow, to where you would actually be able to see his nerves move in his body as when he was projecting out the heat, and he's like burning up leaves, he's burning up newspapers and the like. And then
I think that's the same one, actually, Master Zhou, if I'm not mistaken, or it could be another, but I think it might be the same one. I saw a video similar to that.
And see, that's what he was also stating with it. He wasn't giving too many details, but just basically like what I was stating about the focus, application, pushing, being understating to where, it is mind, body, and spirit, or like just having the acceptance of everything being as one within yourself. You're able to push that and then tell your chi what it is of what you wanted to do, because it is programmable. And so he was telling his chi, set this on fire, set this on fire, push, being one with the paper, seeing it, being the blaze. And the next thing you know, it started to be a blaze, because that's what he was projecting outwards. And so, yeah, good subject for bringing that up. And I would say for people to look him up on YouTube, so that way you can also get a master's insight. You'll get little snippets of what he has for information that allow you to compile your work. So when you're doing your own techniques and how you're wanting to apply your energy within your work, it'll help you out a lot. So just look that up. And thank you for that.
Oh, yeah, not a problem. I appreciate it.
I appreciate that, bro. Also, I'm sure people are familiar with Montauk Chia. Go check him out as well. Montauk Chia has buku amount of books, videos, techniques on how to really work with energy and utilize it. Check that out. All right. KG, you are next.
What's up, KG?
Hello. Hi. I don't have any questions right now. I'm just listening and looking forward to seeing you actually do some moves and learning how to apply it.
Okay, awesome. What you working on today, KG? Because I know that usually when you're listening in, you got a project going, or you crafting some jewelry or something today.
Now I'm putting together a chart for something I'm studying for. So I had to take a break because my phone was dying. So.
Okay, awesome. Well, it's always thankful for you to be listening in.
Thank you,
Yeah,
KG.
thankful for the information you guys share. Thank you.
Sure.
All right, appreciate it. Mario,
There
Smooth
he is.
ass Mario chilling. You next, brother.
Oh man, I'm just enjoying this. I'm out of town working, but I'm definitely enjoying this. And my sensei, he used to teach us a lot and Denmark, and then he'll rev us up with Salat and Denmark, and then he'll break it down to using Qigong. He said he used to do that to get the rage going, to get our heart rate heated up, and then calm us down by using Qigong. He said that way we can focus more, focus our energy.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm loving this. I'm definitely loving this.
Good.
And I had forgot about you. It's on the way. My wife's sending it finally, so everything is done.
Good, bro. Good. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
but
Thank you.
yes, sir. I'm loving this. I'm
I
definitely loving this. And keep doing your thing, Necro Cannon.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it a lot. And you as well. Like, I can't wait to see your products and like, oh yeah, well, you got a chance to. Do you mind if I go ahead and talk a little bit on what you was stating to me earlier? Let me go ahead and put that out there, man, if you don't mind.
Uh, about the T-shirts and stuff.
Yeah, about t-shirts, man. He's coming
Um,
in. Go right on ahead.
yeah, man. Ravana Noon. I always make sure I contact him. Got some T-shirts, some Deific Mass T-shirts, and I also wanted to run it by Ravana Noon about some Black Serpent, Red Serpent clan T-shirts also.
go ahead,
So
brother.
that's why I'm back. Yes, sir. I'm out of town working because the money is good,
There you
and it
go.
got me stayed up in an apartment, fully furnished apartment. So hey, I gotta get it.
Where they got you at right now, bro? Where they got you at?
Man, I'm in Thompsonville.
Oh,
Never heard of it before. Still in Georgia, but I'm in Thompsonville.
yeah,
So yeah,
sounds like one of them towns, brother. Yeah.
yes, sir.
All
But
right,
yeah, I got a whole bunch of stuff I'm working on.
Thank
And you
you.
know me, I always create something. I got something brewing always.
my man. For those who don't know, you gotta follow my brother Mario on Instagram under Witchcraft, WHICH Craft KRAFT3. My man had a smart what is it? Smart
A
watch with
smartwatch.
a turntable on there for all those like myself, true school hip hop heads. My man was on there
Yes,
doing
sir.
a little scratching with the, so yeah.
Oh, that's it right here. I
Yeah.
made it. You want to
Turntable.
hear something wild? I hooked some wires up to it and connected it to my laptop. My wife was like, "You gonna kill your crazy self?" And I downloaded some some music off YouTube, and I hooked it. She said, "What in the world are you doing?" And then I hooked it up with some tracks, and I pretty much made it all.
Like that. That's good.
Yes, sir.
My man's creative, boy.
Yes.
Check him out, y'all. He got a lot of good stuff. So check him
Yes,
out.
sir.
All right, Mario. Appreciate it, bro. All
Thanks, Mario.
Appreciate y'all.
Well,
right, Duma. You next, brother Duma.
what's up, Duma?
Going on, Nickel Cannon.
Doing good, brother. Good to see you.
Oh man, I'm just loving this conversation with Bucky Gong. Have you ever heard of the five Tibetans? I mean, that's just basic exercises, but
Say that one more time for me.
the five Tibetans.
No, I actually haven't. Enlighten me.
Oh, basically, it's like what Tibetan monks use as a form of exercise for longevity and things like.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yes, that I have heard about. But please continue though within your explanation, if you don't mind, since you did have the floor.
Mm-hmm. Which
Continue.
campfire?
I said, please go ahead and continue with your explanation of what you were going to say
Oh,
because you had the floor.
yeah, it was just the exercises that they use in order to increase their longevity. And I was just thinking about how that ties into the whole thing of energy work with the Qigong and Tai Chi and things of this nature in order to be at your most optimum best while in this physical form. So that was basically what I wanted to
Okay.
see.
Yeah, and to touch on that, like I was saying earlier about the different body movements, and because you're keeping your body young, and you're allowing your energy to keep flowing through your body versus it being stagnant. Like how a lot of people, they'll go throughout the day to do their daily stuff, and then they'll just sit there. Or even afterwards, from when they eat, they'll eat and they'll sit there and they're like, "Ooh, I got the itis and the likeness." You're actually supposed to walk in order to help not only with digestion, but it's going to allow more energy to flow through your body, and then you'll be more healthier. You'll be more healthier in the likeness of it too. So like even getting up, doing 20 minutes in the morning time, the moment that you're getting up and you're doing it that way, you're allowing your body to stretch and you're allowing your energy to circulate. And then if you're able to continuously go through it throughout the day, the more energy that you're able to build up in your body, the more limber you are. Then you're like, it helps with the elasticity of the skin too. You know, it keeps it nice and tight, so that way it's not dripping off of you. Because, like, you know, when people get older, their skin and stuff starts to sag because they're starting to lose the elasticity within their skin. But if you're, you know, doing your martial arts or your qigong or your tai chi, or even if you're doing implementations of kung fu with it, it's going to keep your body young, and it's going to keep you young because you're having that constant amount of energy to be in flow. And then if you're an energy vampire on top of it, not only are you building up your energy, but you're also adding energy to you from what you're feeding from. So that's definitely going to be keeping you young. You most definitely will be having a strong vital force from that aspect. I mean, just to kind of not tell off on myself, but that's one of the reasons why half the time when I'm able to do certain facial modifications, why I look so young and why I am so young, because of the Qigong that I do, mixing with Tai Chi, and not to also mention the type of feeding that I do as well too. It's going to keep me young, and I will always be looking young from that.
That's what's up.
So, anything else?
That's it. You explained a lot. And I'm just going to keep on listening and learning.
Thank you, Domi. Well, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Nina Franco, you're next.
Hey, what's
Hey,
up?
Nina. What's up?
Listen, all right, so do you have any postures for protection that you can demonstrate?
Postures for protection, do you mean energy-wise protection or for physical, or just so that way I can make sure I'm giving you specific and precise information?
I would say physical.
Okay. Well, like for physical blocking-wise, or like, hold on, I don't even need to actually have to stand up. Well, if somebody's directing like their force at you, kind of like, you know, back in the old karate movies where it's like wash on and wash off, and this is actually one of the body movements that you're able to do for blocking. So if somebody's coming at you, you can naturally block off their attack just with your body movements like this, vice versa. And then you also learn to block up, block down, be aggressive with yourself, and with like I'll have to plan it now. Even like with each step that you're taking backwards and you're moving your arms back, so you always have that blocking sequence. You can always block up, you can always block down. You always have your other arm face the other direction, so that way you have able to block up, block down, or vice versa. So this is a very good defensive technique for you, or even if they're like projecting at you and you're able to move yourself to the side, especially with the man, you can hit him underneath his you can hit him underneath his armpit, because if as long as you're striking this area here, you can wind up shutting arm down. You can shut that arm down. Same thing within a certain pelvic region. If you're in a certain area there, you can actually shut that leg down. So you can not only block their attack, but actually strike them at the same instance where they won't be able to use that arm. You can give them a warning, or in the same instance, if you're blocking that attack, you can still be able to block and strike at the neck at the exact same time, so that way you're hitting it with the Adam's apple. So you always want to take your stance like this. So like I was saying, if they were attacked, you can block, attack. You'll hit them right there in the neck. It'll close off the wind. Then, of course, you go for other key points in the body to shut down arms and legs, and then you're free to do whatever you want to them at that point in time because they can't move.
Good. Okay. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
You're more than welcome.
Thank you, Nina.
Yeah.
All right, JR, the Star Seed.
What's up, JR?
you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
I got a question on all these techniques that you're teaching. Can one lay down and cross his legs like in the position that the lotus position and lay down these techniques?
Hold on, I can barely hear you on my end.
What I was saying is, is it correct for one to lay down and do these techniques?
You can do it sitting down, standing up. It doesn't matter actually. It's just you're focusing on a certain portion of your body and you're moving, you're breathing in order to build energy up. So that's why you can be sitting down in your chair and you can just be doing the arm movements like I was showing earlier, like you're doing this. Just by doing this, you're working on your you're working on your middle dantian, which you have your energy there at your high heart center. And notice when you're breathing and when you're moving your arms, you start to feel the energy go from your arms. You start to feel it in your chest, and then you'll start directing your breath. Then when you actually are pushing your energy, you're consciously applying it to your arms when you're moving it. That's when and if you're sensitive to seeing vibrations and energy, you can see your energy start to move when you're barely looking past your arms, but just with certain movements like this. So you can be sitting down in a lotus position, doing your arm movements and the like. That's even when, you've seen on certain, not only martial arts movies, but certain masters are able to sit down in lotus position. They're still able to strike, attack, and do their movements because they focus like that. So it doesn't matter what posture that you're utilizing for yourself, whether you're sitting down or whether you're standing up. Lying down, I don't know necessarily in regards to that, because what I would do if I'm laying down, I'll start implementing yoga. That's what I'll start doing if I'm actually laying down. But sitting down wise, it's easy for you. Standing up as well is a little bit better because you're able to move, and then you can actually focus your energy on your lower dantian, which is your trunk and the seat. So, or yeah, like Yotsumitsu from Tekken, like how he was able to sit down in that position and he was able to strike using his sword, hop around, and you're able to move that way because you're able to control your force. And then actually sitting in the lotus position, you are centered, so you're grounded as well too. So it'll help you out. But I mainly do mine while I'm standing up because I'm always implementing Tai Chi with my Qigong for body movements, and because power was sought for self-defense and for offense. And then that's when might start using either Kung Fu, or you can actually use applications of Qigong with the Kido, which Kido is an old style defensive stance for against samurais from their attacking techniques, where you're able to quickly take them down. So you can use your energy to override another individual and quickly take them down and power them down as well too. So you can use Qigong with any form of martial arts that you use because you're using the energy work. Because remember, Qi is energy, Gong is work. So that's all it is you work on your energy.
Right on. Thank you, brother. Thank y'all.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. All right. Amar Ahmed, you're next.
Hey. Good, are you? I had a quick question. So I know you're talking about like projecting the energy. Is that the same as like curating like an entity to do that for you, or like using your imagination or like a thought form? Could you like clarify?
Okay.
that?
Well, in regards to it, first of all thoughts take form, so everything is a thought form. I just want to make sure that that's clear. Even with your intent of you connecting the two, you going someplace or anything else, everything is a thought form. Now, if you're using the thought form as an entity in order to go out to cultivate energy from somebody's biofield, that's something completely different. That's you taking your psionic energy and you're grafting and creating a servitor for yourself. You're applying your energy to it. You're giving it a program to go out and go feed. That's different from you actually focusing on your own energy field being projected towards another individual. You're attaching your biofield to that person to draw forth energy. And so I want to make sure that's the difference between the two. You can create a servitor to go out to feed, to go hunt and then bring that energy back to you, and or to have a link to you directly in order to, when it's feeding from whatever said source, the energy can be filtered through your construct, so that way, whatever negative frequency or emotions can be stuck within that construct, so you're getting the good energy being sent to you as a filtering technique versus the direct connection that you would have, because then you have to program your energy to filter out certain vibrational frequencies and the like as you're programming it. So, because over time, when you say, well, this is the type of energy that I need to feed off of, this is what I want, you're programming the style, you're programming it to that format, then you project it outwards, and that's the energy that you'll get back. That way you'll know the difference between the separation between those two functions.
Okay, yeah, that clarifies it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that more. All right. Brother Asar Gidi, what's up, brother?
What's good, bro? What's good?
Yeah, speak up. You got any questions? For anybody who doesn't know, or if you do, if you used to listen to the Awakening Universal Mind Show, this is Brother Asar Gidi on the phone right now, if you remember from back then. All right, go ahead, brother. Questions, comments, add-ons?
I like where the show is going, pretty much, the core of Qigong practice is just, tapping into your own, energy and things like that. The thing that I love about Qigong is that, it applies to real life. And what I mean by that is, the spiritual is physical as well. It's not separate, and it grounds you. One of the things that, most people don't understand about a warrior or a martial artist is that you have to be the greatest martial artists are the ones who are grounded. They're grounded. They know how to ground their energy. They know how to control their, body muscles and things like that. They know how to relax, things like that. So I think, a lot of things that was said, ties into a lot of great things as far as Qigong. I don't know much, I said, on the Tai Chi side. I know a little bit, but not much on the Tai Chi, man. But, they're similar, but not exactly the same, but they're similar.
All right. So what you're saying, Asar Gidi, is that you need, in order to really benefit and walk this path, you have to be grounded. You can't put on a spacesuit with a cape on your back, fly around, and think that you're super spiritual. Is that what you're saying, brother?
Yep.
Exactly, because the truth about what people consider the occult, the truth of the matter is, it's a chemical experience. It's not something that's foreign and in the sky and some other dimension. When you have quote unquote spiritual experiences, there are chemical responses in your body, and based upon how your chi is flowing, or your ki, that says everything on what spiritual experiences you will have.
I appreciate.
Somebody was gonna say something?
Nope.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Bro, we've been into a lot of shit over the years. Did the the whole spaced out thing and did all that crazy shit. But it's like what you learn at the end of the day is like all the shit is literally inside of you. And I'm not saying that as a cliche. Anything like when you're on a spiritual path, you're not gaining anything. You're literally just tapping into what's already there. What you're not aware of.
That's right.
But that's all I wanted to say.
All right, brother. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Brother Asar is 100% correct. The reason we started this Black and Red Serpent clan is because foundation is key to your work, period. If you don't have a foundation, if you don't have a certain path to walk, meaning that foundation is solid, then you can easily get lost, okay? Get lost in the fever of disconnecting yourself from this situation you're living in and get lost in another world that you want to live in, meaning basic grounding techniques, proper breathing, right? Proper exercise, proper diet, proper thoughts. Things of that nature are basic and necessary in any path that you're walking, more so on the left-hand path. Because what happens on this path is people tend to space the fuck out, all right? And what I mean by that is instead of realizing that you embody the energy of Kali, they literally start to space out, think they're Kali. See, that's the problem right there, because now you're disconnecting yourself from yourself and trying to lose yourself in the mask that is only worn for you to embody and incorporate that energy, to become one with it, to realize you've always been Kali, you've always been Set, you've always been all of these archetypes that have been passed down to us. You lose yourself. So bringing out Necro Canon to discuss Qigong is essential because it's part of the foundation that we're building for individuals as they look for direction on the left-hand path and not so much get lost in the left-hand path. Because people can start out with the proper intention of mastering themselves, and then the process end up going back to worship, going back to externalizing things, going back to putting things outside of themselves, and instead they lose sight of what their purpose was. So Qigong, Tai Chi, Pranayama, and these various exercises, yoga, are all necessary for grounding yourself. Why do you think when you read left-hand path books, no matter how deep they go to the left-hand path, what are the basic techniques they always bring about? They always bring in techniques from Tai Chi, techniques from Kundalini yoga, from yoga, from pranayama. They always bring these techniques in because those are essential on your path. This is why we brought on Necro Canon, and all the classes going forward, we're going to start doing more of the foundation work. So as you walk your path, you have the foundation and you understand the foundation to be able to expand on your work so that you don't get trapped. Trust me, it's easy to get trapped. I don't walk this shit for over 30 years, and I done seen people start out and end up being the Joker and really think they're the Joker in real life and lose their goddamn rabid mind. Now, understand, it's an archetype, it's a symbol. You're not goddamn Joker, but it happens, okay? So we have to start bringing people back to more of a foundation so they get this. Because if you don't, what's going to happen is you will get stuck somewhere. And tendency of human beings when they get stuck is to run back to what they're comfortable with and not stay where they're uncomfortable.
Yep.
So just wanted to, add on to what Brother Sargeti said. So let me see. I'm going to take Goddess Waves and JG. I know JG showed up late, but he may have a question, so we'll see. But Goddess Waves, you're next.
Hey.
I wasn't able to make it for the beginning, so hopefully I catch the recording because I know it was awesome. So looking forward to catching what I missed.
All right. Cool. Appreciate that. All right, JG, I know you came in late, but is there anything you want to ask the brother about Qigong? Go ahead. Oh, hold on. You good?
Yeah. No, I came in mad late. I don't have no question.
All right, cool. So, all right, that's good. Necro Canon, anything else you want to add on?
I just also wanted to touch bases on making sure that you're grounded and centered within this reality as a whole. Like, don't go to Spookville. Don't put on the fluffy suit and go to Fluffy Town. Like, understand, like how you were saying that conscious, the conscious emanation that is Kali, that is Set, that is Lilith. Like all of those are conscious manifestations of thought and energy that people have literally generated amongst themselves. Do not lose yourself in that energy. You can lose yourself, because remember, what you put in your mind will come out in your actions, your words, and life. So if you really start to call yourself, well, I am Kali, or I am Haru, or I'm this and that, it's like, no, you're not. You're wanting to, you might have that energy embedded in you, but ultimately you are yourself. Never lose yourself. Even the essence with me, like one aspect of myself is the great devourer, but you don't see me running around like I was saying earlier with the helmet on and doing all this extra stuff. No, because I'm grounded within my reality. I understand that the devouring aspect of me is to devour any weaknesses that I have, or any weaknesses that I'm facing, or anything that I feel like I have to really is a major dependency for me. That's the weakness that I need to devour, and that I need to turn into a strength. So in that aspect, that's where I say that I am the great devouring force, and or even in regards to my enemies, I will devour them in essence, because they're coming against me, so I'm going to have to devour them. I will take or whatever I feel like is a strength from them, I'll take it and I'll assimilate. Anything that's a weakness, I'll go ahead and I'll destroy it. And so by utilizing Qigong, Tai Chi aspects of Kung Fu and other martial arts as well too, that's really helped me to ground myself in this reality, to know that, you know, I still have to eat, I still have to breathe, I still, you know, I bleed blood and everything else. So that's what keeps me focused here, while I'm, you know, increasing my magic, while I'm increasing my knowledge and the like. So it is very imperative that you stay grounded in your work, and that way you just don't start flying out there in the likeness. So I just wanted to add that to that portion. I also wanted to add, like I said, later on, I'll be doing my own videos in regards to Qigong, Tai Chi. There's if I could find it, and what I'll probably do is just link it for my YouTube page. But like, there is a certain workout that I even do in the morning times, where you start off with Tai Chi movements, such as moving the wrists like this, or making sure that you have your palms placed in the back of your neck, and you're stretching all the way back as far as you're able to go. You know, you're moving forward, or even with the when you're holding your core stance, you know, and you're moving your hips around, just like how women are doing, like a hula, projecting for the hula hoops and stuff like that. All that's to build up your core. It like releases tensions along your spine. Even like when you you're supposed to stand up straight, put your one foot out not too far, you rotate your foot this way, and then you do it the other way, and like you really switch up. You're using that application, you know, to warm up. Then that's when you get into the low or slow body movement, so that way you actually feel everything of what you're doing, versus just like, you know how some people try to do stuff really quick and they're like, oh, I built out, but then they're burnt out. They don't ever have any substance afterwards. But once you're doing your slow movements, you get your energy built up, like you feel alive afterwards, like your whole body is, well, from my experience, because everybody has their own, my experience, my whole body is on fire. I'm literally a walking flame within my mind. You know, I could touch something and it would literally melt. And that is how powerful and how strong my energy is. But that is how I see myself. Not thinking, oh, well, I can burn down this wall right now, you know, because then that would take me to Fluffy Town. But knowing that I built up my energy in my body, I can feel it now. I can direct my energy to where I need to. And also knowing that scientifically proven fact, everything around you has a auric field, no matter what it is. Even this has an auric field, and it has a certain level of consciousness. It has consciousness in order to have something filled up in it, in order to hold it until it's being taken out. So this is what this consciousness is. This is what that conscious application is, and that's what level of intelligence that this item has. That scientific fact and scientific knowledge, and also knowing that it was created from psionic energy. It was taken from the mind. The different elements from the earth, clay, and everything else was taken to form it, to give it its programming, which is to nourish the body, which is you know, or drinking water, or the likeness, to hold whatever contents, liquid, or the likeness inside of it as well. That's the level of consciousness that this has. So also to let you know, everything has a certain level of consciousness. Everything has a certain level of programming to apply to it. So that's what'll keep you grounded and keep you from going to Spooky Town or Spookville, as like, you know, Brother Beniti and other individuals say. I like saying Fluffy Town, period. But just knowing that will keep you grounded, so that way you won't be trailing off, because ultimately you're still going to have to come right back to this, period. And that's all I have to add to that.
All right, appreciate that, brother. All right, so it looks like we took everybody. So let me make a couple announcements before we let Necro Cannon give his closing statements and contact information. All right, so next week will be the reunification of myself and Brother Beniti. We will be finally reunited doing a show together next week here on Zoom at 7 p.m. So put the word out. Let everybody know that the brothers from TalkShoe.com are going to be together. Hopefully, we could get Asar Gidi to join us and give a couple comments. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to check the brother, because he be tripping.
We forgot about Demetrius.
Yeah. So we'll be here next week. If you want, send an invite. If you want to invite, my email, darkcultist99@outlook.com. or the new email, theblackserpentclan@gmail.com. So either darkcultist99@outlook.com or theblackserpentclan@gmail.com. All right. Send me an email. I'll send you an invite. That'll be next week. He's going to be talking and promoting on his show soon and on his channel. And I'm letting y'all know on this channel as well. So join us Sunday at 7 p.m. And the topic is the disease of the subjective realm or the subjective mind, okay? So just stay tuned, because we're going to go in there. Now, and JG, you're 100% correct. When you use archetypes, it should be to further your shadow work. Let me just say this quickly. Your archetypes, the archetypes that you use or choose, are usually what you resonate with. So for example, from myself, I resonate a lot with Set, but no way, shape, form, or fashion do I think I'm Set, and I walk around saying I'm the great Set. Okay, no, that's not gonna ever hear me say that.
Right.
What you have to understand though is when you work with an archetype, why you're attracted to a certain archetype is because you resonate with it, because there's something usually that you need to address within yourself that archetype represents. So for example, let's say you are resonating with Oya or Oshun or whatever the case may be. Hold on, give me a second, because now I got this drip. Goddamn, Demetrius, I gotta stop talking to you, man. You got me dripping over here. Anyways, that shit just came out of nowhere. But anyways, that happens sometimes. So, where was I at? All right, so, yeah, where the hell was that? Okay, so if you're working with, let's say, Oshun, a lot of people get it twisted and they say, Oshun loves me or Oya loves me, because that's why she connected with me, because I'm like her and she's like me. No, sorry. Usually why they come, that archetype, and how we perceive them coming to us is because you're lacking in what they represent. So in other words, Oshun may be the goddess of love, seduction, but there's other various paths that she represents as well. She could be the old hag by the river who's a strong, deep sorceress, okay? You may be lacking in certain of those qualities, so that's why usually you start to resonate with a certain archetype. It's not because you're them. It's because you are missing that within yourself that you need to develop. So, like, for example, with myself, Set represents isolated consciousness, but he also represents rage, also represents destruction, also represents the part that people forget the most, represents transformation, because through the storm and the rage causes the transformation. So if I'm working or resonating with Set, it's because there's something in me I must transform and change to represent a greater version of myself, to master parts of myself that Set is representing and allowing me, by the symbolism, by the frequency vibration coming from Set in the, let's say, the statue, the symbolism, is resonating and tapping into my subconscious mind, to tap into what is missing from myself. I'm not going to trip that out. And tomorrow, you guys are not going to see me on here holding the sword, the curved sword of Set and the staff. I'm tripping if I start to do that. Check me. Someone call me and say, yo, you tripping, son. All right? Because that's not going to happen. What it will mean is that you should see a change in my vibration, my aura. You should see a change because I've actually attacked the parts of myself through the power of Set, what it represents, to transform myself. That is the essence of what working with archetypes is on a left-hand path, which we call wearing the deific mask. Actually putting the deific mask on, and when you do that, you view the world from the eyes of what it would be like to be that archetype. You start to see the world from within yourself shift. It starts to shift, and you actually start to understand what it means to have an isolated consciousness. You start to understand what it means to be in the eye of the storm, like Set represents the eye in the storm. The storm is around you, but the eye is still calm. Understand that fact. You could see what looks like rage or anger coming from a master, let's say. If you've ever encountered a real master, you will know that they have what looks like outer anger, but inside they're calm as hell. They're peaceful and calm. You understand? Well, kind of a peace, but it's a different kind of peace, all right? But you will understand at that very moment, oh shit, I get this. I get why you can't be the storm itself. You have to be the one directing it. Now, go ahead and add on, because this drip's killing me. God damn it.
Yeah, just like in reference when I'm, people will see Kali on my page because I utilize Kali in essence where like when I invoke her essences so that way I can destroy some qualities about me. I can devour it because that's one of her aspects was devouring the demons, that demon portion, and then I can birth a new different realities for me. So the destruction of my old reality, like when I was going through my transition, Kali was with me most definitely. Like when I was doing my shadow work, I was utilizing that force and that archetype in order to destroy my old reality, which was no longer serving any purpose. I was able to literally take in the strengths of what I had learned from my old reality, looked at what weaknesses were there, and I was able to obliterate that. And then I was able to birth anew because, of course, she's attachment to, death and rebirth. I was able to form a new reality for myself. Or even in the same instance of utilizing Set and being the eye in the storm. When there's destruction that's happening, there is that change. And then notice to her, after even as an example, once that storm goes through, all trees and stuff are knocked over, there's complete destruction and everything else. What happens afterwards? The notation of rebirth, things being rebuilt, things being changed up, things being remembered from the last bit of experience, so that way things are set up differently now. Now things are being built up to have different measures, so that way the next time that storm comes through, things are done differently and still built up more. So that's what you're supposed to use those archetypes for, is to help you, not for you to get lost in that sauce. Or, like same thing is with me. If you ever see me, walking around with something on and I'm going right there, like literally like hit me upside the head with something because I'm taking it too far. And then I'm like those other people that are playing on the conscious level, trying to play with individuals saying, oh, I'm this person and that, but it's like, you still living in your mama's basement. You're still not man enough to take care of your business. You're still mooching off of this. You still don't even have, you're not making enough money in order to suffice for your own place. You don't have this, you don't have that. So how can you claim to be this entity or this type when that entity and that type had their shit mastered, period, visible and within the spiritual entity, the exact same thing? No, that's not happening. You're one to portray yourself as that image, but that is not that is not who you are. You should use that entity in order to get your life correct, so that way you can get stuff changed up. Whether it be like Set, Kali, whether like even if you're utilizing Lady Death in an instance, because of that death and that rebirth that will come to you, so that way you can understand, okay, this portion of you, this needs to die, this needs to change most definitely, so that way you can have this better thing come out. You're not learning, you're going to keep going through that same experience, and then that's when you put yourself through dementia, because like they said, if you're doing the exact same things over and over again and you're not seeing any cause to change, that's how you're inducing yourself to insanity. So naturally you're going to have to cause that change. So it's the same instance. You know, you've got to use those archetypes and have that understanding that I'm utilizing this so that way I can get this task and this objective done. After you get that task and that objective done, then you're able to move on. True enough, that energy type might come back to you so that way you can resonate with something that's going on in your life, because that's what it is. It's symbolic of things of what is going on in your life that you need to change, that this energy type is there to assist you with. And notice that once you actually do what's needed to be done, that work, that energy type usually dissipates from you, and then you're going off to something else. That's the whole reason why I came into your reality in the first place, so that way it can help you along your lesson, so that way you're able to move forward. If you don't gain that lesson, then of course you're gonna keep doing the same thing. That's like you beat your head up against the wall until it's bloody, thinking that you busted down the wall, but it's not. Not until you learn, you know, okay, I'm tired of hitting my head up against the wall. How about I move around this way? That's when that energy will change for you. It's the same likeness of it. So that's why, like, we will always say, you know, make sure that you are being grounded. Do not get lost in it. Don't be like how you see them other screwballs out there, you know, saying that who they are and they're really not. And then they have to utilize that in order to, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what they're doing. They're using a form of mesmerism in order to play upon the subconscious regions of the mind, because they know that's what people are they're migrating to, because it's something of what they like and what they're attributed to. Some people naturally want to actually have that knowledge and that know-how, but they're utilizing that in order to like make money or to trick individuals. Then when you actually talk to them about some real knowledge, well, have you actively applied this within your life? What, you know, can you tell me about your experience of cause of change from when you was at this one point in your life to when you had this energy type to where you are now? Such as myself, to where I can tell you where I didn't have much of anything and I had complete and utter chaos. And it's like, what are you about to do in order to change? So I took that energy, looked at what I needed to change within inside of myself. Once I made those changes inside of myself, that's when my life actually changed. That's when a whole bunch of different doors and opportunities opened up. And I was like, okay, this is the pathway of what I need to walk down. That's what you're supposed to use those archetypes for, whether it's, you know, like I said, to cause change within a business structure for yourself. You know, if you're not doing things right at your job, you know, change something about yourself. What is it about your job that you feel, or what you're projecting out in regards to your job that's not making you happy for you? Because it's your own thoughts that's making it to where you're not happy with your job. So you can take that aspect to say, well, I'm like this towards, you know, certain coworkers, and I shouldn't really, you know, you don't need to be that way because it's actively affecting you. And then you really don't have a reason why to be. You're just doing it for that. Destroy that portion about you. Devour that. Once you devour and you cause that change, of course, that change is ultimately going to be noticed outside of yourself. And then that's when different doors and opportunities will open up for you, because you actively allowed that change to happen. And so that's all I can really say on that is use those archetypes to cause a significant change. Do not get caught up in it. Do not go to fluffy town in regards to yourself, because then that's when you're going to make yourself look like a fool and nobody's going to want to listen to you. Like, there's too many people out there that's literally getting people on that space train, boarding them up, taking them out there to Mars and stuff, dropping them off and leaving them there without any air to breathe and everything else. And you're like, oh no, you'll be okay because I'm this person, so I said so. That's not how it goes. Like, that's basically leading a sheep to slaughter. You're getting yourself sheared, you're getting all your wool taken off, and then you're getting packaged to be somebody's dinner. That's what you're doing.
All right, so, perfect, brother. Appreciate that.
Welcome.
To close it off, give us your contact information and closing statement.
All right, well, you can reach me most definitely on my Instagram, which is NecroCannon at Instagram. You guys can check out my page on YouTube, which is the NecroCannon. Are welcome to comment on my page as well. I do have a certain playlist on there for people to look at. One which is open for individuals, which is lessons on self-mastery. It has a lot of different videos. I'm going to be placing mine on there, not only myself, but it also has videos from Brother Beniti and also Brother Ravon on there. So I would, if you guys are wanting like specific set orders for videos, I would say look on that on my page. Like, that'll be your digital library for the lessons what you need in order to assist yourself. I will be wind up making myself a Facebook page pretty soon called the NecroCannon, so that way you guys are able to reach out to me as well too. And then that way I can start posting more of the Black Serpent Clan information and the Red Serpent Clan on there. And then once my fire starter gets her information up, she'll be posting information about the Red Serpent Clan on there as well too. And I just want to say thank you for everybody that's here that joined in. Thanks for everybody that will be watching this in the future. Please, by all means, start looking into Qigong, start looking into Tai Chi, start taking 10, 20 minutes of your day, which is that long within the segment of your time, you know, in order to do that. So that way, eventually throughout your day, you'll wind up doing yoga when you're least expecting. You know, you're in the kitchen, you know, and you're cooking, and, you know, you're moving your wrists and you're moving your body because that's what you have, because you're naturally starting to generate more energy. So that's what I have to say. And I want to thank you, brother, most definitely, for having this platform built up and building this community, so that way we can really get together, because this is really what's needed for us, because a lot of us were at a loss in regards to things, and by us building this community and this clan, because we're not a family, because family means a household of slaves, and now one of us are slaves. We're all masters. That's the reason why we're a clan.
Exactly. Appreciate that, brother. All right, everybody give thanks to Brother Necro Cannon. Like I said, next week we'll be on here, myself, Brother Beniti. I'm trying to get Sargiti to come out from the closet again. Hopefully he shows up, so the old triad of the Awakening Universe Minds talk show will be together. I'm going to get him to come. Trust my words. I'm going to get his ass to come on the show too. So we'll be here next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Hit me up at darkcultist99@outlook.com, or the new email for the Black Serpent Clan @gmail.com. All right. Thank you for showing up. Dark blessings.